Haha. So, I'm gonna say it again. Who needs an intro when you've got content, right?
Right. And speaking about language,
Language.
that's our keyword for today.
Mhm.
Last time we were talking about identity. So for me, identity is partially linked with the language that we speak.
Okay.
And I was thinking like how, according to you, the language that we use influences our identity.
Okay, so are we going back to identity? Or
Well, I mean,
no.
I mean, we are sticking to language, but I mean, okay, it's just one question. We can go in other directions.
Okay, so how does language link with identity?
Well, okay, for example, for me, interesting fact is that you said that you lost you lost touch with your like mother tongue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's interesting like how it actually influenced the way you think, because how the language that we use influences the way of our thinking. The syntax, the vocabulary that we use, the accent, like the rhythm of speaking, everything changes. So I don't know. I mean, it's like, for me, it's quite a mystery.
Wow, that's like very psychologically deep in terms of psychology, the way you explained it now. But okay, I think I understand what you mean. So, in the sense of how my thoughts are and stuff based on the language that I speak. I mean, I pretty much only speak English. So as you guessed, my thoughts are in
English.
Yes, and that's all. That's my only reference point. I can't think in any other language, and I mean I know bits of other languages, but not enough to affect my identity, I guess.
Okay.
So I feel that my identity has been, I guess, changed through time, because with the language I speak, I associate with different types of people. And with those people, they help to carve my personality, I guess. And yeah, that's the best answer I can give you.
Okay. I have also a second question. Okay, given that you're English native speaker, right?
Okay.
We can say so.
Yeah.
You talk with a lot of foreigners, and they use, in a way, English.
Okay.
But every person uses it differently. So, for example, when you talk with like some strangers from international environment, can you see like the way they speak? Like, can you notice like that this is, I don't know, this seems like a calc from another language, or this is like copy pasted syntax? Okay, I'm going too deep. I'm sorry. I'm just wondering, how does it sound for you, like when the others speak?
To be honest, when I listen to other people speak who don't speak English as their first language, I think more like I try to identify their accent from where they're from.
Okay.
So I don't really concentrate on the syntax or the parts of speech or the grammar or anything like that. That's the last thing on my mind. As long as I can understand them, and I'll try like in a way to relate to their nationality or culture in a way of some form. So like
Any remarks so far, like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always try to learn a few things in different languages, just so I can kind of, have my 2 cents to throw in the well every time I meet a person from a different nationality, and it's just to show acceptance, that like to say I accept you, and we can have a conversation, and you can see that I am making an effort to get to know your nationality or your language. Like that's why when you told me that tak means yes in Polish, and I realized that tak means thank you in Swedish, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so.
Okay, so you listen more to accent than to grammar. That's scary for me.
Why?
Well, I mean, okay, I assume that my grammar is better than my accent, but I may be wrong.
No, accents are cool.
Yeah, they are cool. I mean, they show where you come from. So I have like my super Eastern slash Russian, but I'm not from Russia, but that's what people say.
Really?
Russian accent. I don't have Russian accent. It's Polish. Pure Polish accent. Very Eastern. Okay. skipping that awful subject. Yeah, okay, so
I
that's...
don't think you have a Russian accent.
No.
Russians usually roll their R's. They
okay.
have harsh R's. Like
Yes, yes.
And your R's are
No Russian accent.
pretty chilled. I guess.
Okay, so those were my questions for you as to language. Because I was really curious how it works.
Oh, okay. And can I ask you some questions?
Obviously. All ears.
All ears. Okay, cool. What is the first thing you listen to when you hear, like the same question you asked me, when you hear people from different nationalities? What is the first thing you listen for?
But given that they speak in English, or...
Well, yeah, let's say English, because if they spoke in Polish, they're probably Polish, right?
That's true, there are some exceptions, but not so many. Okay, so what's the first thing? Okay, that may sound silly, but despite the fact that I'm definitely not native, what I listen to is mistakes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And
I mean, not that I want to point them out. I'm not grammar Nazi. In Polish, I'm a bit, I guess, but not in English because, I mean, I'm not privileged to do so, right?
you can do whatever you want.
Well, I do my mistakes. I make them. So, like, why would I correct someone else? And I think it's a bit nasty. So I don't do that. But every time I hear a mistake, even the one that I did, I correct myself and the other person in my head.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a thing that I have, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. And I listen to the accent. Sometimes I try to guess, or sometimes I'm like, I know this one.
Okay.
Because it's nice to know where the person is coming from. And I like to observe how the string of thoughts is going. Like, for example, as I said, like our dear Turkish friend, that unfortunately left us. I really loved like his way of using vocabulary, even if it was, let's say, in a grammatical way a bit incorrect. I like the way he thought. So that's what I appreciate, like how people use language, because I respect language, any kind of language. I think it's a magical tool to like discover a word and create a word.
Yeah. Because in the beginning there was the word.
Exactly.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So actually, I feel like I can learn a lot from you because this is kind of like your area of expertise, right?
In a way.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have like that many questions to ask because this is like completely out of my I don't know, my area of knowledge. So I can't even fathom enough questions to ask you. But over time, I'm gonna ask you some more questions, you know, on a one-to-one basis.
Awaiting.
And if I meet someone new, then I'll try like identify where they're from based on their accent. You know, like I play a game in my mind just to amuse myself, and I'll try to guess where they're from. Like, oh, that's like a Spanish accent or something like that. Like I'll try to guess, like, and maybe if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but if I'm right, then it's cool. I'll be like, oh, you knew where I'm from. You know, I'm so proud of myself.
Did you guess mine?
No, but I already knew because I was introduced to you and they
true.
said, oh, you know.
Yeah. Shit. I would be curious.
I don't think I would have guessed it though, because I've met a few Polish people over my time, but not enough to exactly pinpoint the accent. But I was actually quite amazed because yesterday I was watching a Polish movie.
Whoa!
No, yes, well,
What
not the full. I didn't watch the whole movie.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I was scrolling through the movies and then I saw some Polish writing, so I said to my mother, hey, that's in Polish. And she's like, how do you know that? I was like, I can see it. It's like Polish writing, like font or whatever. And then she's like, okay, well, maybe let's watch it. So we checked it out, and it was quite interesting actually. But I didn't watch the whole movie.
Yeah, I would like to know. So if you can check.
Yeah, I remember the English name of the movie, but I don't remember the Polish name.
The
English name was Hatred.
Oh shit! Okay.
But it's like a 5-letter. It like. I don't remember. I can probably find it now. But yeah, it seemed quite cool. It was actually about a Polish wedding, and anyway, yeah. It's
I
quite,
know which one. It's like old school.
Yes, like olden there in the village, and then those guys like hit each other with sticks after the wedding.
Yep, possible.
You know that movie?
That's a good image of Poland, and that's those guys hit each other with sticks after the wedding. Oh, that's what we do, right?
And some of the guys got hit hard, like in the face, like damn. But one thing I really found interesting was the fact that they go into like the house to get the bride, and they have to like fight for the bride to get her out of the house. And
They actually do
'cause they got it
something
in-
similar in Macedonia.
yes, that's what I thought
Wow.
of when I saw it. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Slaps.
Yay.
That's what we do.
That's why I'm gonna go to MMA, so that when I fight for my pride, I beat everyone up to get in there. Okay, I think we're kind of off topic, but
Yeah, a
it's
bit.
so good.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been interesting.
So we started with language.
Yeah, and we end with language.
In a way.
So I don't know what else to say except
Yeah, I don't know. For me, like, language is a subject that I could talk a lot about. It's like a magical wand for me. So
maybe we'll have a language part 2, and then you do most of the talking, and I'll just keep my mouth shut because I talk way too much.
it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so look out for language part 2, ladies and gents.
Soon.
Coming soon
Bye bye.
to your ears near you. Enjoy. Bye. Bye.
Okay, that's